In the last 3 years, the HIV and AIDS Prevention and Control Bill lay on the shelves gathering dust. But early this month, lawmakers began debating the bill. However, during the debate, some MPs suggested that amongst the issues to be entrenched in the bill is compulsory testing, where lawmakers would test to set a good example for the rest of the country.
We have agreed and kind of passed the resolution amongst ourselves, the 26 members of Parliament. We have agreed that we are going to take on compulsory testing. First of all, as members of Parliament.
It takes courage and confidence for one to go for an HIV and AIDS test. And in this 9th Parliament, there are over 380 members of Parliament. But one wonders whether these national leaders have ever made any attempt to go for the test before they can force it on all Ugandans.
So we must walk the talk. We should be the first. So the things which are being suggested in that bill, we should be the leading examples as Parliament before we can even pass a law that would seemingly work on others, and for us we shall jump bail.
This proposal, which Health Ministry officials and Uganda AIDS Commission say is draconian, may derail a well-intentioned bill.
If you pass a legislation that is even unconstitutional in my view, because you know it seeks to discriminate against people who are sick.
It is invading my individual rights to privacy.
Because if you allow compulsory testing, it goes along with compulsory treatment. Who is going to enforce?
But the exponents of this proposal argue that it requires such levels of honesty to make gains against prevention.
The areas which have been revised:
mandatory and routine testing for pregnant women and their partner. So this is already policies that are working, but we want to put it in a legal framework.
I think it will go a long way in ensuring that the approach adopted by Uganda of ABC, abstinence and being faithful and the use of condoms, will be promoted.
There is also fear for rights to privacy. Once passed into law, there is fear that employers could target HIV-positive workers. However, Section 32 of the bill states that a person shall not be denied employment or terminated on grounds of his HIV status.
To deal with non-discrimination at workplace.
Once passed into law, Uganda will not act in isolation.
In Tanzania, in Kenya, the East African community has recently passed a law.
The bill also allows medical personnel to disclose the HIV status of their clients, especially if a court compels them to do so.
When enacted into the law, will give the medical personnel power to test somebody who is terminally sick.
This may contradict a professional medical code of conduct.
I think their rights and freedoms, as guaranteed, as provided for in the Constitution, which is also inherent and inalienable, must be protected by law.
Can you know that indeed this one did it intentionally, unless in cases of rape, in cases of defilement? But when it comes to criminalizing someone, basing on that, it needs a lot of evidence. What is the empirical evidence?
AIDS activists have since expressed concern of a clause in the bill that would criminalize the deliberate transmission of HIV.
Do we have any law that prohibits or that manages the spread of Ebola? And why AIDS specifically?
President Yoweri Museveni has in the past stated that he supports an HIV/AIDS law that will criminalize deliberate transmission of the virus. Jingo Francis, NTV.